We're just going to immediately reset from there. Alright, first things first, we got to fly in and talk to Peeb, just like normal. Probably one of the hardest parts, I think, of the run is the ability to fly through and talk to Peeb correctly. Alright, now we're in our first level, which is Slurp City. We're going to immediately hit that first objective right here. And then we're going to go ahead and grab a bunch of orbs that we need. These orbs are very important. They're reminiscent of a 100 coin star from Mario 64. And in the case of Slurp City, we're going to need 250 of them in order to progress. And now we're going to head over to this time trial, and while we're in this time trial, we're going to hit the last two of the vampires that we need to hit. It's very easy for me to lose track of them because everything in this game moves at a mile a minute. So we finished the time trial, and we're also going to go ahead and finish up the vampire quest right here. And what we want to do is hit that and then immediately grab a gear. That way we could chain these two cutscenes together. And then we're going to fly up here, and we're going to grab the gear that's on top of the spire. Then we're going to take a time and go ahead and grab some extra orbs right here. We're looking for the magic number 200, which will be the amount of extra orbs we need to carry before we can hit a big stash, which is on top of a building we need to go to. So now we've hit that 200 here. I'm gonna go ahead and do a curl jump, which flings Orbo up like a propeller, but it also gives us a lot of momentum that we need in order to cover through this area. So now we have all the gears, and now we have all the orbs that we needed for that gear. So now we're gonna grab this, which was the objective for hitting all those vampire statues, and we're gonna open this door right here. And we're pretty much done with Slurp City. So now we're just gonna go ahead and travel down here. Dive bombing by controlling is a lot easier here, and one thing we're gonna try and do is quit on the same frame here. Now, if we are lucky, we did grab all 4, or all 5, yes. So you can same frame clear on this, and that is a very, very, very good tactic because we did skip a cutscene as well as the travel time out of this area. So the first thing to note about Sleepy Time Manor is that it's probably the largest area coverage-wise with the most space. It's not necessarily with the most platforming challenges. We'll be in that area in a little bit, but we will take the time to make sure that we could cover all these orbs in order to hit that 350 orb gear that we need to hit. Now we're gonna summon a bomb, and we're gonna aim it towards that lawn gnome over there. There's a little rivalry between two duck brothers, and the duck brother Ducker is deemed an idiot savant for erecting a big lawn gnome statue, and his brother wants us to destroy it. Now, unfortunately, like that other area before, we will need a little bit of extra momentum in order to get up here. In fact, I failed because I preempted my own area, so we were a little bit slower there. Luckily, we still grabbed the gear we needed to hit, and now we're gonna head over to this crypt area, which has one of the main objectives of the area. We're also going to grab as many orbs as we can. There's a big group of orbs right here that'll get us to the magic number 300, or even over that, because there's more than enough in this crypt where this objective is to hit the quota for the 350 orb gear. And now we're just going to travel over here and rob this crypt of the gear. And now we're going to take this cannon, and we're going to grab the green orb and be on our merry way. We're going to grab this orb gear right here. And I'm actually going to go ahead and respawn right here. This is so I could go a little bit quicker right here. As we tackle this time trial, it's going to be very, very important for us to have grabbed that respawn point as well as open that door early. Because when we respawn after completing this objective, as soon as we get to the end of it, there we go. We could just hit respawn right here as soon as the game will select it. And we just need to grab these two. We need to grab these two gears and we can leave. Alright, now we're going to head over to Dunbarrow Mines. Dunbarrow Mines is the shortest level in the run. It is also the shortest level in the game. First thing we're going to do is we're going to fly through the top of the ceiling here. That way we could grab a gear on the outdoor, which is very interesting because you're not intended to go that way, but the movement in this game is very, very freeing. And now we're going to crash through this door and grab one of the 2 gears that we need to open this door. We're also going to crash into that piece of uranium and grab a cool hat. That's going to be important for later. Alright, I'm not hitting the rolls I need to hit, so we did go through that a little bit slowly. Luckily, we're still pretty quick. Now, that hat is important because this guy wants a tasty hat that we're going to give to him. That is definitely not uranium. Peeb is actually in this level, and if you talk to him, he is holding a bunch of secret glowing paint information away from Orbo, which is very, very funny. Because who doesn't love good old-fashioned uranium-based paint? So now that we have that gear, we can go ahead and go through the orb door. And as I mentioned, this level is the shortest level in the game. That's because there are 2 gears here, so there's only 3 objectives you need to do. Alright, and now we head on to the final level, which is Monolith Station. Monolith Station is easily the hardest level on the run, but we're going to make it look about as cool as we need to. So one of the main objectives is going to be turning on 3 separate switches for a device holding the main gear of the level. That's going to be the first one right there, the Vitagen Overflow. And we're going to go ahead and hit over this trampoline, right here. And then we're going to line up these orbs right here because we do have a 350 orb quota that we need to hit. And we're going to solve this puzzle right here as soon as I make everything upset. Don't worry. Alright, so now we hit that button and turn on the puzzle, and we're going to hop right here to hopefully chain a gear. I'm pretty bad about that. So unfortunately, not being able to chain that gear does create a bit of an issue. Anyways, now we're going to go over here to this key. We need to create a key with a diamond bottom and a star top. That way, that can take us into this door up here. That way we could zoom up here in order to grab one of the orbs we needed. And now to save the travel time, we are going to respawn like we've done earlier in the run. And we are going to go ahead and hit the time trial for this level. This time trial is pretty cool. Unfortunately, I bonked there again. I've been bonking there quite a bit. These levels with very, very sharp turns are... These levels with very, very sharp turns are actually very, very difficult to chain movement together, so it takes a high-level runner in order to figure out the difference you need to hit that. Alright, and now we're going to finish up the main objective, as well as finishing up this 350 orb gear we need to hit. Luckily, there is a plethora of orbs right over here. We will need to touch a few of these extras, which is fine. So now we're going to grab this gear, and we need to go put this orb in here in order to hit the final button. That turns on the exoferrous production, which also gives us all 3. So now we could just go ahead and turn on the machine by hitting this button right here. And if Orbo didn't like hitting buttons, we could go ahead and quit. And that is all the platforming levels in this game. We do have the final boss, which is Surgeon. But first things first, we do have to build the arm like we talked about. Alright, so now that we have the arm built, we can open the door. The main reason why Orbo was unable to do that was because he didn't have hands. And now we are getting called into human resources. And our HR rep is mad at us for stealing a stapler and building a metal arm. Now, unfortunately, this boss is an auto-scroller, so they're going to do 2 main attacks and then do this wide sweeping laser attack. And then they're going to spawn a bomb, which will allow us to do damage by attacking their helmet. So it really is just a waiting game at this point, and being on top of the game when the bombs become available in order to take advantage of that immediate damage phase. So right here, like, we're going to immediately dive in and hit. We're going to continue waiting. Alright, so that was a little bit of a waiting game. Now we're on the second phase. Surgeon just takes 6 hits in order to be defeated, and they enter this phase. They enter this phase after 3 hits. One thing that this phase changes is the laser attack. It only focused on us before, but now it is sweeping. And that attack will instantly kill you no matter what health you're at, so it's very important to be wary of that. These lasers also dodge iframes, so they are very, very deadly if you're not paying attention. But for the most part, it is very easy to... It is very easy to just scoop along to the rest of the run. And now we're on the final hit. We're just waiting on that attack to show up. She's going to do her 2 main attacks as normal, and then we're going to have that sweeping laser beam. And we just want to be immediately ready to hit wherever it goes. Alright. And that is time. And that is an 11:52. I want to thank you all for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. And if... Hey, Osborne, what's up? This game is very, very quick. But it's great to see you, man. I'm really glad you stopped by the stream. There's a lot of things going on, but I hope that this run gets into the marathon. It's very, very cool.